Hi, it's Jean from Rock Hollow Woods. Today we're going to take some time to explore the creek. Take a look. Does it look like there's anything living inside this creek? We're going to find out. Exploring the creek is a great thing to do with your family, and you will need a simple strainer and a plastic container. When you get to the creek, fill your container with some water so that if you find anything, you can put them safely in the bucket to observe later. When you're exploring the creek, you see that this creek is running in that direction. So I am going to put my strainer in and let the water run through it. If you were a little critter, where would you be? Out here in the open or underneath rocks and leaves and things? I think you're right, underneath rocks and leaves and things. So we're going to put our strainer in, and then we're going to pick up our rock and scoop at the same time. And I see a little critter running inside here. So I'm going to take that critter and put him in my bucket to observe closer later. Then I'm going to take a peek one more time and see if I see any movement. And I do. A very teeny tiny critter was moving. So I'm going to put him in my bucket too. Now I'm going to knock off what is still in there, because even though we can't see them, there could be hundreds of microscopic animals on that strainer. So you want to put them back. And now, I have a lot of things in my strainer this time. You can see there's a little salamander. Go ahead in our bucket. There you go. And I'm not going to touch him because he breathes with his skin and we don't want to get our oils on him. And some more of these little tiny ones. I'm going to wet it and look again. Oh, there's another thing. Lots and lots. And actually what we're finding are mayflies. Mayfly larvas. We'll do a couple more scoops. This time I'm not seeing any movement in my strainer. I'm going to knock that off. I'm going to move this way a tiny bit to where I see some more rocks and leaves for protection. Ooh, and I found some more things again that I will knock into my bucket. Once you're finished gathering critters from the creek, bring your container someplace safe and have a pan ready with water from the creek. Pour your critters carefully in so that you can observe what it is that you had found. You don't want to leave anything inside your container because, like I said, there's lots of microscopic creatures in there. So let's look closely and see what we have that's not an insect larva. Look here. Here we have a crayfish. Look at that. A crayfish is a crustacean and he lives in the water and he likes to eat little critters. We also have a lot of salamanders. Look here. So you can see the salamanders that are in here. Salamanders are amphibians. They have legs. You can see their legs, and they have gills now. They spend part of their life in the water and part of their life on land. Take a look at everything that's in our bin. I wasn't looking for very long, and look at the variety and the number of critters that we found. Now we'll take a closer look at some of the insect larvae. So many of you know that butterflies go through a life cycle. First there's the egg. It hatches into a larva or caterpillar, and then it forms a pupa or chrysalis. And after that, an adult or butterfly emerges. So other insects also go through a metamorphosis: egg, larva, pupa, and adult. But they spend their larva or nymph stage in the creek. So here we have caddisfly larvae. Caddisfly larvae build their own shelters. And you can see his little head is sticking out of his caddisfly home. And this is the larva or nymph stage. When they're finished, they'll go inside, close off their stone home, and become a pupa. And eventually, the adult will emerge. This is a picture of the adult caddisfly. This diagram shows the life cycle of the caddisfly. The cranefly is another insect that goes through a complete metamorphosis. Most of the cranefly's life is as a larva in the creek. Take a look at this larva. The cranefly nymph or larva is a carnivore. He eats other animals in the creek. Look at the way he moves. Pretty cool. This is the adult cranefly. It looks like a mosquito, but it does not bite like one. There are other insects that go through a metamorphosis, but it is an incomplete metamorphosis. They're an egg, a larva or nymph, and then an adult. The mayfly is a perfect example of this. The mayfly spends most of its life living in the creek. As they grow, they shed their exoskeleton, or their hard outer covering. You can see their gills breathing, and they have 3 tails, which helps you remember mayfly, M-A-Y, mayfly larva. This is the adult mayfly. It only lives for 1 day. Once you're done observing your critters that you took from the creek, carefully remove them back into the creek. You want to gently pour them back. And when you're finished, be sure you rinse them out. Again, there's a lot of little critters that could still be in there. Rinse them and carefully return them to the creek. Exploring the creek and being able to observe the larva or nymph stage of an insect's life is very exciting. I hope that you can find some time to go out and explore the creek with your family. And while you're there, be sure to respect the animals living there and have a great time